Imagine this for a moment. Two candidates walk into the same interview for the same role, with similar resumes, similar experience, and similar qualifications, but one of them walks out with a job offer while the other walks out with a polite rejection email a few days later. And the difference wasn't talent, intelligence, or luck. The difference was preparation, specifically how deeply one candidate researched the company before the interview. And that is exactly why this video exists, because today I'm going to walk you through the top 10 ways to research a company before an interview in a way most people never do. And if you truly apply what you're about to learn, you won't just sound prepared, you'll sound confident, strategic, and genuinely aligned with the company, which is what interviewers are actually listening for. So let's start with the first and most foundational step, which is mastering the company's official website at a level far beyond surface reading. Because most candidates glance at the homepage, memorize the mission statement, and call it a day. But professional-level research means studying the About Us page to understand how and why the company was founded, what problem it originally set out to solve, how that problem has evolved over time, and what values the company publicly commits to. Then diving into the products or services pages to understand exactly how the company generates revenue, who their ideal customers are, and what differentiates them from alternatives, because when you understand how a company makes money, you can intelligently connect your role to business impact, which is something interviewers rarely hear but always appreciate. And while you're still on the website, analyzing the careers page is critical, because the language used there reveals what the company actually values in its employees, the traits they reward, and the behaviors they expect. And this language should directly influence how you frame your own experiences during the interview. Next, the second research method that separates amateurs from professionals is studying the company's leadership and decision-makers, especially founders, executives, and department heads relevant to your role, because companies reflect the priorities and personalities of their leaders. So by researching their backgrounds, career paths, public interviews, LinkedIn posts, and even keynote speeches, you gain insight into how they think, what they value, and what kind of people they tend to hire. And when you reference leadership vision or quote a CEO's interview in a thoughtful way during an interview, it signals alignment, emotional intelligence, and genuine interest rather than rehearsed answers. Third, you must research recent news, press releases, and major developments involving the company, including funding rounds, acquisitions, partnerships, expansions, product launches, restructures, or even challenges like layoffs or market pressure, because interviews are not happening in a vacuum, they are happening within a business context. And candidates who demonstrate awareness of current events instantly stand out as informed and serious professionals, especially when they can articulate how their skills can support the company's current goals or navigate its present challenges. Fourth, social media research is often overlooked but incredibly powerful, because platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and even TikTok reveal how a company communicates publicly, how it interacts with its audience, what causes it supports, and what tone it uses. And this matters because culture is expressed in communication style. And when you reference a recent post, campaign, or company initiative during an interview, it demonstrates real engagement rather than generic interest. And it also helps you determine whether the company's culture aligns with your own values and working style. Fifth, reading employee reviews on platforms like Glassdoor, Indeed, and Blind provides an unfiltered look into the employee experience. And while not every review should be taken as absolute truth, patterns tell stories, so if multiple reviews mention strong mentorship, high pressure, lack of work-life balance, or rapid growth, these insights help you prepare better answers, ask smarter questions, and make informed decisions, because research isn't just about impressing the interviewer, it's also about protecting your own career trajectory. 6. Researching the company's competitors and industry landscape is what elevates you from candidate to consultant in the interviewer's eyes. Because understanding who the company competes with, what market challenges exist, what trends are shaping the industry, and where the company stands in comparison allows you to speak strategically. And when you can say something like, "I noticed the company is positioned differently from competitors X and Y in this area, and I think that creates an opportunity for," you demonstrate business acumen, foresight, and value-based thinking. 7th, the job description itself deserves deep analysis. Not just reading, because job postings are strategic documents disguised as lists of requirements, and by identifying recurring keywords, required competencies, and implied expectations, then cross-referencing them with company priorities and challenges, you can tailor your examples to directly address what the company actually needs, not just what the job description says on the surface. And this approach transforms your answers from generic to targeted, which is exactly what hiring managers are hoping to hear. Eighth, LinkedIn becomes a goldmine when used strategically, because researching current and former employees in similar roles reveals career paths, skill development, and success patterns, and by studying how people progressed within the company, how long they stayed, and where they went afterward, you gain insight into growth opportunities and internal mobility. And this information allows you to ask thoughtful questions and frame your career goals in a way that aligns with realistic outcomes inside the organization. Ninth, preparing intelligent, research-driven questions for the interviewer is one of the most underrated yet powerful interview strategies, because interviews are conversations, not interrogations. And when you ask questions about team dynamics, performance metrics, upcoming initiatives, or long-term strategy, you shift the dynamic from being evaluated to being engaged. And well-prepared questions show confidence, curiosity, and long-term thinking, all of which are traits employers actively seek. And finally, the 10th and most advanced method of company research is synthesis, which means pulling together everything you've learned into a clear, compelling narrative that answers 3 unspoken interview questions. Why this company, why this role, and why you? Because research without application is just information, but research combined with storytelling becomes persuasion. And when you can naturally weave company knowledge into your answers, connect your experiences to their mission, and articulate how you can contribute to their future, you stop sounding like a job seeker and start sounding like a future team member. And that shift is what turns interviews into offers. So if you want to stop feeling anxious before interviews, stop guessing what interviewers want, and start walking into interviews with clarity, confidence, and control, commit to mastering these 10 research strategies every single time. Because preparation is not about memorizing answers, it's about understanding the company's story so well that you can confidently position yourself as part of its next chapter. And that is how professionals get hired.